cards and detail cards.
Oh, but not this one, because this one was stolen. So where do you sell
It
and
wasn't
detail
even-
cars?
It wasn't my vehicle. I was detailing the vehicle and
Calling 2024 CR 4372, State of Texas versus Brandon James McCaskill. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Andrew Harris Salem.
Defense?
Elizabeth Settle.
And are you Mr. McCaskill?
yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have you received all the discovery? Did you review it with your client?
I have your.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Is there an application in this case?
Yes, for probation, for community supervision.
All right, let me see.
Okay,
Yes. All right.
okay.
Did you review the document entitled Application for Community Supervision with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you review the document entitled True Bill of Indictment with your attorney? Did you understand it? Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
I do, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you review the document entitled Court Admonishments with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Did you understand you're charged with the offense of unauthorized use of a vehicle? That's a state jail felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 180 days up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If you have a plea with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand? Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent? Did you understand by entering this plea, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case? Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
He has, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Your
Mr. McCaskill, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen? Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it? According to the plea, punishments be assessed at 2 years in the state jail facility. State recommends community supervision. There's to be restitution, if any, to Miles Brown. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense? Is that the plea?
Honor. Yes, Your Honor.
State, is that the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Outside the agreement, the state is recommending that your community supervision be for a term of 3 years. There be a TAP evaluation, 150 hours of community service restitution, no contact with Miles Brown, and the anti-theft course. Did you understand those were recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, ma'am.
Then to the offenses charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Contents.
State any evidence?
Contained within Exhibit 1 and attachments, Your Honor.
Any objection?
No objection.
You may be excused.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, did you review the document entitled Waiver and Consent to Stipulation of Testimony and Stipulations with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places? Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports? But most importantly, there will be no live testimony. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty and the court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Judge.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client? Okay, what's your street name? That's not what you said in the police report. You said P1 stated that he didn't know Wood's real name and stated that some, I don't know why people are still using the N-word, don't want their name to be known. You feel me? And I respect it. I go by a street name and he go by a street name. That's what we do. So what's your street
I don't
name?
know by street names. I don't know why I was in the report.
All right, and what's the 100 on your hand about? No, what does that mean, you're 100?
It's just authentic, you know? It's old. This is old.
It's what?
It's old. It's old. It really has no significant meaning.
So why would you tattoo 100 on your hand and it has no significant
I
meaning?
mean, it does, but it's not. It's just me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and what's the lettering on the side of your face?
Some words.
Hmm?
Some words
Yeah, what are the words?
against all odds.
All right, and what's the tattoo in the center of your forehead about?
It's a broken heart.
All right, and what's the other one?
Blessed.
And what's the neck tattoo about?
It's just some initials.
Mhm. And what's on the other hand?
It's just a bomb. It ain't nothing.
And what's the initials on your hand?
My partner that got killed. It's just in memories of my partner that got killed.
So how did he get killed?
Gun violence.
Mhm. And why are you riding around with a gun in the vehicle? All right, that's what the police report says.
I'll be charged with a gun.
Mhm. So your 8-year-old that you're so concerned about now, but you were not concerned about when you were riding around in the vehicle, where's your 8-year-old?
She's at home right now.
With who?
Safe and sound
With who?
with my wife. She's good.
No, what does that mean? She good. So here's the thing, you're in a court of law,
Yes,
so
ma'am.
don't do the slang with me
Yes, ma'am.
because it will not register with me and it will not register with me purposely on my part.
Yes, ma'am.
So your 8-year-old daughter is with, you say your wife?
Yes, ma'am.
So you all are legally married.
No.
So that's not your wife. So let's start there. You're not legally married, so that's not your wife. That's the mother of your child.
Yes, ma'am.
You, for some reason, felt she was not worthy to be blessed with a marriage with you. Because did you ask her to marry you? That would be a no. So don't be coming into court using your wife, who is not your wife, and your daughter to play on sympathy of the court.
Right. Most
So
definitely.
that's not, let's start with, that's not your wife. That's the mother of your child. And does she have employment?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And she's always had employment.
Yes, ma'am.
And you have not always had employment.
I have.
No.
Yes, ma'am. I have.
And so you're saying you're supporting your wife and your daughter on a salary of detailing cars?
Sale cars and detail cars.
Oh, but not this one, because this one was stolen. So where do you sell
It
and
wasn't
detail
even-
cars?
It wasn't my vehicle. I was detailing the vehicle and I got in the situation I'm in now.
All right, what I can
Sale
tell
my
you
vehicle.
is nowhere in this police report, many things were said,
Yes,
but
ma'am.
nowhere in this police report do you say that you were detailing that vehicle. You said that Woods loaned that vehicle to you.
No, I said I was detailing the vehicle for him. I don't know why they didn't put it in the police report,
Mhm.
but we always have them type of technicalities.
So you detailing a vehicle for a guy, according to you,
Yes, ma'am.
that you met at the Bear County Jail.
Yeah,
Okay, so where is your shop?
that's like if I met you and
You will not, let me just tell you, you will not be meeting me at the Bear County Jail unless you're a client and I'm an attorney, or unless I'm going to the Bear County Jail to speak to inmates for whatever reason. So where's your detail shop?
I don't have one. I'm starting this from the ground up. I'm mobile.
Mhm.
I'm mobile.
Yeah.
I'm a mobile detailer.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
So what's the equipments you use to detail since you're mobile, which means you have to take equipment from one place to the other place? Are you just going to somebody's home and using their water and their soap and saying you're a detailer?
Well, unless like I go to a car wash and I do my thing there, you know, I vacuum the car out, tire shine, shit like stuff like that. Excuse my cussing. Yeah, I'm a mobile detailer though.
That's not detailing. I do that to my own vehicle. I vacuum it out.
Use purple power, stuff like that.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know.
Yes. That's something,
retail-
yeah, that's
retail
something you can
products.
buy from any store.
Tough stuff.
You- Yeah. All right,
I mean, we gotta
anything-
start somewhere, right?
sure. And let's hope it's not at the Bear County Jail meeting people that we don't know their names because we don't do that. We just have street names. Deputy Laura, I don't have a street name. When people see me, they call me Stephanie Boyd.
Her name is Judge.
Yeah, okay, that should be my street name, Judge. All right, this is what the court is going to do. Court is finding you guilty. Court is going to sentence you to 2 years in the state jail facility, suspended and probated for 3 years. There's going to be a TAP evaluation. Follow those recommendations. If you're drug tested today, what are the results going to be?
Probably be negative, but I'm not,
When you say you'll probably be negative, why do you think it's just probably?
I mean, it's been a little minute since I smoked, but
Smoked what?
marijuana,
All right, you're not allowed to smoke marijuana on probation or drink alcohol.
Yes, ma'am, I know that. I know that. You won't have no type of issues like that with me at all. Period.
There's going to be 120 hours community service restitution. I'm going to order parenting classes. There's going to be proof of employment
Yes, ma'am.
within 30 days. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. There's to be no unsupervised contact with minors until further notice. I'm going to want field visits 1 time per month until further notice. There's to be no contact and restitution to Miles Brown. Cats 1 and 2. Cats 1 and 2 is a class that's going to tell you what you should already know, which is don't steal. Don't take what doesn't belong to you. The MRT course. There's to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person and regular random UAs. Probation, is there anything else he needs? Is there anything else you need from the court to be successful? Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Yes.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand? All right, we can go off the record. So you have a daughter, correct? This is what you need to ask yourself, because children are supposed to be proud of their parents, right?
She is proud of me though.
Yeah, she doesn't know what you're up to. So this is what I'm going to say to you. You need to look at yourself honestly in the mirror and ask yourself, would you want, with the baggage you have right now and where you are in your life, if your daughter were of age, would you want her to bring you home to meet her parents? Yeah, I know the answer is no. So if the answer is no, you know what that means? She is not proud of you right now. You are presenting a picture of yourself to her that is not true. I don't know anybody who would be proud. Oh yeah, my father is taking some car from some guy named Wood. Oh, my father is smoking marijuana. Oh, my father is tattooing his body up with things that mean nothing, like the 100.
It
I'm
does
fine.
mean
Here's the
something.
thing. I'm fine with people having tattoos. That's fine. People can have tattoos, but if you're going to have tattoos, at least let it have some meaning. You understand? And until you can say you would be so happy that your daughter would bring a guy like you on paper home to meet her family, until you can honestly say that,
I'm a good guy.
no, you're not. You committed, so you're telling this court that you would be happy and proud of your daughter to bring somebody home who has felony charges.
I mean,
All right,
stuff happens. It
No,
happens.
it doesn't.
It
All right,
happens.
there's no help for you, but here's the thing, you cannot have unsupervised contact with minors. So you know what that means? That means for your child to have contact with you, somebody else needs to be present, an adult who is thinking and looking out for her, because you're not.
I just got caught in the wrong position, you know.
No, you didn't.
I didn't do nothing wrong, man.
You know what? Turn and look at your attorney. Ask her how many times she's been caught driving a car illegally. You know what? Ask the deputies. Deputy Laura, how many times have you been charged with unauthorized use of a vehicle? Vashawn, do you have in your past an unauthorized use of a vehicle that you've done probation for? Zach, have you been at the Bear County Jail staying there because you've been arrested for an offense?
If I say yes, will you? Claire?
Yeah. See, that's no. Your attorney hasn't been at the Bear County Jail. And you're telling me with a straight face, jokingly, because you're the jokester from high school, there is always one. You're telling me with a straight face that you would be proud of your daughter to bring you home. And you know what that's saying? The people in that box, no. You see the people over in that box? Some of them have unauthorized use of a vehicle. So what you're telling me is if any one of those guys, if your daughter were an adult, you would be proud for her to bring any one of them home. Yeah, that'll be a no. Thank you very much. Change your life.
Yes, ma'am.
Darren Johnson, are you already on Jimmy Carazales?
Yes, sir.
Sorry, let me just find your client on the docket. They switched these docket around. They're so weird now. All right, court is calling 2024 CR 4938, State of Texas versus Jimmy Carazales. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state
Andrew Harris, Hayden.
defense?
Will Brooks for the defendant, Judge.
And are you Mr. Carazales?
Yes, I am.
Counsel, have you received all the discovery? Did you review it with your client?
Yes and yes, Judge.
All right, are there any applications in this case?
Judge, it would be important, I think, that we actually submit an application for deferred. Do that.
Yeah, I don't have it.
I know it's signed.
It's there. Just 1 second. It may be here. Sometimes the pages get stuck together. Okay, all right. Did you review the document entitled Application for Deferred Adjudication or Community Supervision with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you sign it?
Yes.
All right. Did you review the document entitled True Bill of Indictment with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, we do, Judge.
All right, and it appears the state is proceeding on the indictment as presented.
Yes.
Thank you. Mr. Carazales, did you review the document entitled Court Admonishments with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Satisfaction, yes.
I'm sorry, what?
Yes, satisfied.
All right, no. Did you review the document Court Admonishments with your attorney?
Yes.
Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you sign it everywhere you're supposed to sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, did you understand you're charged with possession of a controlled substance? Penalty group 1, less than 1 gram. That's a state jail felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 180 days up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am. I understand.
If you have a plea with the state, court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by entering this plea, you're giving up those rights?
Yes.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
It's
Did you intend to give up those
Yes,
rights and enter into a plea?
yes.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
Do, Judge.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, I do, Judge.
Mr. Corrales, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter the plea?
No, ma'am.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Most certainly.
Did you, well, are you?
Yes.
Did you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, If for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty and sentence you up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to $10,000 fine.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, the court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea, state is recommending deferred adjudication, and it's to run concurrent with County Court Cause number 726-844. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes.
Defense?
Yes, Your Honor.
State?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in both places?
Yes.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, are there any such motions?
No, Judge.
Outside the agreement, the state is requesting that your deferred adjudication be for a term of 2 years. There be a TAP evaluation, 60 hours of community service probated, and no contact with Smitty's Hub and Danielle James. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, ma'am.
Then to the offenses charge, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State, any evidence?
Contained in Exhibit 1 and attachments, Your Honor.
No objections to states one or attachments.
All right, state, you may be excused.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Did you review the document entitled Waiver and Consent to Stipulation of Testimony and Stipulations with your attorney?
Yes.
Did you understand it?
Yes.
Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent?
Yes.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports? But most importantly, there will be no live testimony. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will defer finding of guilt as you apply for deferred adjudication. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
We'll proceed with sentencing, Judge.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Judge, simply that it's clear from the offense report and then talking to Mr. Carlos that he was using this day and not in his right mind. He is currently homeless, and it was a little confusing because at one point he was on bond for both offenses and
Yes.
Misdemeanor issue and bond forfeiture. Long story short, Judge, he's been sitting around for about 30 days in custody now. 60 total.
Yeah.
It's surprised to me, Judge, because I think he was just declared a bond forfeiture felony a week and a half ago,
Yes.
but he was back in jail. But he is homeless, Judge. He does have a plan to go to Haven for Hope. Should the court follow our bargain? And certainly I think the TAP is appropriate.
So is he a good candidate for felony drug court?
I don't think so, Judge.
Because I mean, it appears, from what I read in the police report, he had the syringe with the heroin.
Sure. I mean, I think an appropriate screening could be appropriate, Judge.
And is there any mental health issues?
He reports not having been diagnosed with any sort of mental health issues, Judge. This is his, in reviewing his history, I think he had one misdemeanor marijuana case. He did have a penitentiary trip for an assault, but there's not an extensive history. There's not an extensive substance related arrest history.
Nothing prior. No. Correct.
So how long have you been using heroin?
I don't use heroin.
Well, they had you with heroin that
Yes,
night.
ma'am. I was found with it on my body possession. Yes, ma'am.
So you're telling me you never used heroin?
No, ma'am.
So you were not intoxicated when any of this happened?
No, ma'am.
So then you're just gratifying yourself in public just to gratify yourself in public?
It's just like he explained, it's just a little bit more extensive if I was to explain, because I was going through like, not depression, just a preserved stage in my life. I lost my job. I have like 7 wives. I'm Muslim, by the way, that we're not married, but it's like common law marriage. It's
How many children do you
financial,
have?
financial
How many children do you have?
0.
So you have 0 children with
Yes, ma'am.
7 wives? So what was going on? I still don't understand why you're exposing
I'm still
yourself.
asking myself the same thing while I'm incarcerated. It's just, I don't wish to do drugs no more. That's
Well, you just
everything
told me
else
you
has to
didn't.
do with my personal life.
So you told me that you didn't do any drugs.
I do,
Because they had to pepper spray
I
you to
don't know
make
how to
you.
use it. I was trying to figure it out.
Okay, so the police report I read, and Mr. Brooks, correct me if I read it incorrectly, is that he was exposing himself, pleasuring himself. The guard at the pub told him he need to put it back in. He didn't want to put it back in. And then the guard said, hey, you need to put it back in, and he wouldn't. And then the officers came and told him to put it back in, and he wouldn't, and he was gratifying himself. And they had to pepper spray him, and then they find the heroin.
That's a correct recountment of the offense report.
So, Mr. Corrales, I'm trying to understand what's going on in your life to see if there's something I can do to give you help.
Because I just don't know what else you want me to say.
Well, I mean, are you using drugs or are you not using drugs?
Using drugs, man. Just, I don't even remember being pepper sprayed. I may have stuck myself a few times. That was it. I don't remember being like.
I'll say, so Mr. Brooks, do you
Like-
think he has any mental health issues that need to be addressed?
I would say he doesn't have any that have been reported to me,
San
Judge.
Antonio's my home. I've been here for 30 years.
Perhaps a evaluation might help, Judge. I mean, I don't have any concerns about competency, if that makes sense, Judge.
All right. This is what I'm gonna do. TAP evaluation in custody. Follow recommendations. I'll do a referral to felony drug court in custody. Follow recommendations. I'll ask that the warrant be recalled. 2 years deferred adjudication. This will run concurrent 726844 as previously stated. There is to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person. MIC evaluation in custody. Follow recommendations. There's to be no contact with Smitty's Pub and Danielle Jennings. There should be 80 hours of community service restitution. Proof of employment within 40 days of release. There should be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. Regular random UAs. Field visits 1 time per month until further notice. Probation, is there anything else he needs? Let me see.
Okay.
Yes. Okay,
I
thank you.
just want to know, you said no contact with Smitty.
Yes, I'm sorry, SMITTY' Pub and Danielle Jennings.
No.
All right, Mr. Carazales, is there anything else you need from the court?
No, man.
All right, did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney?
Yes,
Did you understand it? Did you sign it?
yes,
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
yes, ma'am.
All right, we can go off the record. Here's the thing. I don't know what's going on with you. I don't think you were 100% forthcoming with the court about what's going on with you. But if there's an issue, you better let probation know, because otherwise you're not going to be successful on this probation. You understand?
Yes, ma'am. I look forward to actually succeeding with the probation. I've never had probation. I don't know what paper is.
All right. All right, good luck to you. So, All right, who's the state on this case? And counsel, you're on this side. All right, so next time, you know, you're not allowed to wear shorts, right? Are you in shorts?
No, he's not.
Oh, okay. I just saw the bottom. Well, thank you for addressing appropriately to court.
ma'am.
Somebody in this courtroom is wearing shorts, so I'll save the speech for them. But you are dressed appropriately. All right, so where are we on this case?
Judge, sorry.
So my client has multiple cases and only one is filed at this point. So this is a case from April of 2022,
Mhm.
a Southside ISD Police Department case. There's some mixing up of the evidence from that case with also a December of 2021 case.
Okay.
And then also he had another arrest in April of 2023 that the drugs aren't back yet. We have a night mag case number on that. So I would like to be able to review everything together and possibly do some kind of a package resolution on this case. So I'd like to ask you to consider giving us maybe 90 days to get.
Oh, I'm not doing 90, but state, when do you expect the labs on the drug case?
Judge, I don't know if it's an at-large case, but I mean, I could at least email the intake prosecutor associated with it. However, I believe it's a PG2 classification.
Mhm.
Those usually take a little bit longer, but it seems like the case is old enough to where they should have some type of direction on that.
Okay. All right, so this is gonna be recalled for July 29th. And state, I'm sure if y'all don't have laboratory reports, something else will happen.
Yeah, Judge, I mean, it seems like we could possibly come to an agreement.
All right. All right, I'm gonna give you a reset form. Once you sign that, you're excused.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. So why did your parents name you Valentino? Is that a family?
My biological grandpa, his name is Valentino.
Oh, okay.
So he had a-
I think that's a cool name.
Thank you.
All right, once you sign the reset form, you're excused. Be careful in the rain because people tend to drive a little bit crazy.
Yes, ma'am.
Thanks.
All right, you're welcome. All right, who are the parties on Marlon Daniels? We're gonna go on the record. Court is calling night mag number 7589330, State of Texas versus Marlon Daniels. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state
Jason Garrett, hand on.
defense?
George Sherman on behalf of the defendant.
And are you Marlon Daniels? All right, defense has filed a motion for release of personal property. State, have you a chance to review that?
I reviewed it last week, yeah.
All right, any objections?
Yes, Your Honor. At this time, it's just, in just an abundance of caution, the state has not reviewed the possible items that would be returned. I know that there's some identifying papers, and there's some other objects that we may not be opposed to necessarily. I believe Mr. Sherman said something about a scooter of some sort for
All right.
getting around.
Let me go through the list and you just tell me what you have objections to, then I'll hear it. All right, his wallet.
Objection.
All right, and what is the state's objections to him receiving his wallet back?
Identification purposes, Your Honor, for him being in the vehicle.
All right, so is it possible for parties to make a copy of the items that are in the wallet, make a copy of his driver's license, make a copy of the VA documents, have the defendant and defense sign off to the fact that these are copies of the wallet, the driver's license, and the VA documents that were in the vehicle?
I'd be fine with that, Judge,
Yes, that's fine with the state. Your Honor.
All right.
as long as we can do it soon.
Well, that's something you all have to work out
Okay.
amongst each other. So the wallet, the driver's license, and the VA documents will be returned once the state has made copies of those. Mr. Daniels, can you raise your right hand for me? Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do, ma'am.
You can lower your hand.
Thank you.
So you understand the wallet, the driver's license, and the VA documents will be returned to you once the state is able to make copies of those documents?
Yes, ma'am.
And you understand that your attorney has agreed that you will sign a document stating that the copies the state will make of the wallet, the driver's license, and the VA documents, you will sign a document stating that those documents, the originals, came from the vehicle, whatever part of the vehicle, and that you agree that they will have been found in that specific place.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Personal documents.
I don't know what the personal documents are.
What are the personal documents?
Garage door opener, key card for work
All right, just one second. Let's slow it down.
right now,
So the garage door opener,
key card for work.
key card for work,
And there's a gym bag and it has a miscellaneous items in it.
gym bag. Well, here's the thing. We have to be very specific.
Okay,
What's in the gym bag?
probably pencils, pen, an air pump.
All right, so with regards to the gym bag, the court is not going to agree to release that to you until people have had a chance to view what's in the gym bag.
Okay.
All right. Garage door opener. Any objections? Okay. Key card from work. All right. So the key card from work.
It doesn't have photo ID, ma'am. It's just a regular,
All right. So what we'll do is the state will make a copy. Both defense and you will agree that that is a copy of the original that came from the vehicle. All right. So those will be released. Air pump. What is the air pump?
the air pump was basically for when I have flat tires, emergency purposes.
No objections to that.
Okay. Clothing.
I had two jackets, winter jackets, one hoodie, they're both hoodies, one's a zip up hoodie.
Winter jacket and hoodie. State, is that an item that you all can have somebody take photos of?
That's,
All right, so they're going to take photos of those items. And again, counsel, and you will stipulate that those items were found in the vehicle. Documentation from glove box.
I believe it's an owner manual, might be measuring tape, tire gauge, maybe registration and license, not license, but insurance paperwork. Can't think of anything else that might be in there.
All right, the owner manual.
we'd like that to stay with the vehicle.
All right, so the owner manual is going to stay with the vehicle because really, what can you do with an owner manual if you don't have the vehicle? With regards to the measuring tape,
No objection,
okay. Tire gauge,
no objection.
registration, insurance, and paperwork copies.
We'd like to at least keep that with the court, I'm sorry, with the vehicle, or at least make copies.
All right. So with that, there will be copies. Sir, are you okay?
Just breathing right now, ma'am.
Okay. Do you need to have a seat?
I think I'll be fine.
Just one second. Deputy Laura, we're gonna get him a seat.
There he is.
All right, yes, let him have, sir, have a seat.
Thank you.
And just take deep breaths. Do we need to call somebody for you?
No, I should be fine, ma'am. Just hyperventilating.
All right, do you need any water? I thought I had a bottle.
please, run record.
Could somebody see, do we have cups in the back to get him some water? All right, thank you. And then State, do you have any objections to the scooter from the trunk?
Is that this is scooter like
It's,
for injured legs?
Yes.
Okay, no objection to that.
All right,
Again, I'm sorry, just to take photos of it.
okay.
I believe there might be photos, but I have not reviewed that to make sure.
All right, so this is the court's rulings. With regards to the wallet and the contents of the wallet, this and the driver's license, the VA documents, the state is going to take photos. Both defense and Mr. Daniels are going to stipulate that those are copies of the original, and you're going to stipulate to the location it was found in the vehicle. The air pump, the state has no objections. 2 jackets, the state will take photographs of those. Mr. Daniels in defense, you will stipulate that those are items that were found in the vehicle and the location of it. Documentation, the owner manual, that will be denied. Measuring tape, the tire gauge, state if you want to take photos of those and then give them.
Yes, Sean.
The registration insurance paperwork, The state will make copies of those. Both the defense and Mr. Daniels will stipulate that the copies are the originals and to the location where they were found. Scooter from the trunk of the vehicle, state will take photos, and both defense and Mr. Daniel will stipulate that those are photographs of the originals and where they were found. Is there anything else from either side?
Nothing from the state, Your Honor.
No, ma'am.
Anything else?
No.
Any other items?
If there is, I can't recall, ma'am.
All right, so, and counsel, if you all want to make arrangements for you and maybe the investigator or somebody to go view the vehicle, and if there's some items that is not on the list here, you can always come back to the court.
I have it in there.
Okay.
I spoke to him last week, so.
All right, so I'll make notations of this, and then we'll have your client here so he can catch his breath,
Okay,
and they're gonna bring him some water.
all right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Sure.
All right,
Thank you, Judge.
you're welcome.
And I'll get a copy of your order
Yes,
for myself.
thank you.